Used to be a hustler. I used to be a runner. Came from the gutter. Now we be on that struggle. Used to be in a life full of crime. I gotta hustle and do whatever it takes to survive up in the jungle. Talking rock bottom from the gutter. I used to get in trouble, but now I'm beyond the struggle.
Hey everybody, this is Mark with Beyond the Struggle. Tonight I am here with James to do an interview and talk to him a little bit about his recovery and what it took him to get there and where we're at today and where we're going forward. How you doing tonight, James?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. Hey, so what I wanted to do is just wanted to touch base with you and kind of maybe go back to when it started for you. You know, feel free to let us know whatever's on your heart, man. And you know, the more detail we can get, the better it is. I think that way we can potentially save some lives out here, man.
Right, awesome.
So for you, when was the starting time when you feel like you started, when things kind of started for you?
Well, I was 16 years old. I got on when I was 15. Let me start from the beginning. In third grade,
Okay.
I decided. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. Right. From that point on, I just did whatever I wanted all the time, which eventually resulted in when I was 16. When I was 15, sorry, I moved to Tallahassee, Florida by myself. I got on a Greyhound bus. I went to Tallahassee without my parents, which started a long journey of just meeting crazy people and doing crazy things. And it ended up in Wyoming. And then as soon as I got to Wyoming.
And this is at 15?
At 15, yeah.
This is at 15?
Yeah, so, and I was in Tallahassee, Florida. And then I went to Madison, Wisconsin to see this girl that I knew from senior high. And while I was in Wisconsin, I caught a case. And luckily, my biological father somehow got a hold of the court, and they agreed that if he was going to buy me a bus again, if I got on the bus and left town, they would drop the charges. So I got on a bus and came to Wyoming. And I was only here 2 months, and I started smoking meth. And then 2 weeks after that, I started shooting it. And then everything just went to shit for 20 years. That's how it all started. It was just like, I just came to Cheyenne and I met some people. So they used to have a bar here called the Cheyenne Club. And at the Cheyenne Club on Wednesday nights, they had 18 and over night, right? They didn't serve alcohol, but you could just come and like have the bar experience, but not be 21 years old yet because they didn't serve alcohol.
Yeah.
But then I met other people using there. I ended up going to this party with this girl and started smoking. And then one thing led to another, and I was shooting, and then my life went crazy. I was
any jail time in between there?
No, I didn't. I never. So I caught the first charge I ever caught. I was 11 years old for stealing cigarettes from this convenience store. But then I didn't have any other legal trouble till after I started using. But then I started using when I was 16. I was in prison when I was 18.
Okay. So you did it.
Yeah. It did. Yeah, I've been to prison a couple of times. It took no time. Once I started using, I started getting arrested immediately. I was just crazy because once you're using, your decision maker is broken. You know, like as soon as I started getting high, it's all that mattered. I just wanted to get high again, and I started doing whatever I had to do to get high. It was like robbing Burger King, robbing Subway, forging checks, selling dope, and I ended up doing time for most of it. My first trip to prison, I got arrested when I was 18, but convicted when I was 19. So I turned 19 in county, but then I turned 20, 21, and 22 in prison. I got out of prison the first time in 2006. And I went to the halfway house in Casper, Wyoming. And then I made it through the halfway house, no trouble whatsoever, no write-ups, no setbacks, nothing. And then I got out and I moved into this apartment complex. And in the apartment complex I moved into, there was nothing but tweakers in there. And I ended up using it again. And 2 months later, I was back in jail and back to prison.
Damn.
Yeah, it took no time. It was crazy. Yeah. Then I got out, so I killed that. What's that?
It's funny how we get these breaks and it don't matter. That just calls us right back.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it takes so much time to rebuild when I decide to start acting right, stop using, try to start building something. And then I'll start using, and in a matter of days, it's all gone. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So fast. So I got out of prison in 2007. I just sat in prison, killed my number, so nothing, no parole, nothing. I got out in '07, and within a month I was using again. And then in January of '08, at the end of '07, I got out in September of '07. In October of '07, I met this girl. And then in January of '08, me and her moved to Colorado and got clean and got married. And I was clean until 2015.
Okay.
So I had 7 years. And in that 7 years, I did good, man. I had a company truck. In 2009, I bought a brand new car. Like, I was first owner. I had 40 miles on it when I bought it. That's not everybody can say they did that in their lifetime, you know? Like, I'm proud of that. I did that. I'll never do it again because it's ridiculously expensive. It's like,
Right.
Last year's model is half the price. So anyway, but still, it's cool. I can say that. You know, how many people have been the first owner of a car, you know? But that was after like 5 years clean. And then a couple years later, I moved to Fort Collins, and one thing after another. I was at a party with my friend, and there's always, and I feel like in everybody's story, there's a part where there's like, man, there was this pretty girl, right? So there was this pretty girl, and they were smoking dope, and I was just drinking, which was so I wasn't completely sober, right? I was still drinking. That was the problem. That's why I ended up eventually relapsing, because I was perceiving everything else as different than my drug of choice, right? I wasn't doing my drug of choice, so I was clean. I mean, you know as well as I do, that's not really how it works. If you just replace one with another, you're still being in active addiction. So I was drinking at this party, and my buddy and this cute chick were smoking dope, and I was like, it's Friday night, right? I had a good job. I was building blades for the wind turbines. I was in a factory building blades. It was a good job. Anyway, it was Friday night. I'm partying with these people, and like, there's some dope there, and I was like, man, I could probably smoke some dope tonight, smoke tomorrow, go to sleep Sunday, sleep it off, get up, go to work on Monday, be cool. That weekend lasted 9 years. Didn't really turn out very good. I never stopped. I stopped since that time. That was April of 2015. I was either high or incarcerated all the time until 4.5 months ago. Yeah, that's all it took. This one night of partying turned into 9 years of locked up and high.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Let me back you up a little bit. So in your story, so you were talking about how when you left, you had your mom and dad in your life?
Yeah, well, when I went to Florida when I was 15.
Yeah.
I lived with my mom and my stepdad. But like I said, in third grade, I made this conscious decision within myself that I wasn't going to listen to anybody, that I could just make my own decisions and do whatever I wanted. So by the time I was 15, my parents knew that there was nothing they could do to stop me. I was just going to go anyway. Right? I mean, they could have called
No drinking or drugs. No drinking or drugs in the home.
No. My biological father's an alcoholic, but he was never around until I got in trouble with him. So I lived with him once when I was 14, and then we had a little fight, and I got kicked out, and I went back to my mom's house, which was really a result of my dad's drinking. Was the problem, but because he just couldn't. My father was like he wasn't a violent drunk. He's too small of a guy to be mean to anybody, but he was verbally abusive. Like, he would just pick that one thing. Like, if you're self-conscious about the gray in your beard, he would just pick at that gray beard all day until you just wanted to just explode. And that's the kind of guy he was when he was drunk. So anyway, he got all that stuff with me one night, and he kind of got in a little tussle, and the cops got called. And so I went to the police station. I didn't get arrested, neither did my dad, but they separated us. And I went to the police station. They called my mom. So my mom came and got me and took me back to Colorado. And I was in Nebraska. And it was really like, I feel like that was a problem in my life, another problem in my life due to addiction. It wasn't my addiction at the time. It was my father's. But that year in Nebraska, I went undefeated in wrestling. I was a wrestler in school. And I was undefeated in my freshman year in high school. But then 2 weeks before regionals, I moved back to Colorado because my dad was drunk. Right. So then in Colorado, I was too late. It's 2 weeks before regional. I can't qualify for state in Colorado. And I left Nebraska too early, and I dropped out the next year. So I missed my shot at going to state due to addiction. Now mine is still the same concept.
Same.
Yeah, which you would think that I would have learned at that point. Like, man, that's a bad idea to get all messed up.
Yeah, but you're at this point in your life, you're already an addict, though.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, no matter what, so it's like, you're hoping for the best. And the reason I asked about your parents is because I want the people to also see, because there's sometimes, we have the greatest parents in the world, and it's not our parents' fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, but sometimes it is. My mom personally, she was an alcoholic. All my family did drugs around me. since I was a kid. So,
Right.
I don't blame them. I'm my own man, but
Right.
what we're trying to do from here on out in life is break these generational curses.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So my father was an alcoholic, but like I said, he was never really around. Like I didn't really know him. He's passed away now. Like when I moved, so like I said, I went to Wisconsin and I caught a case, and I moved out here with him to get out of the case. I moved out here and I ended up addicted. I ended up on meth, and 6 months later, my alcoholic father kicked me out for being a drug addict. So I was out on the streets, 16 years old, hooked on a needle, not knowing what the hell I was doing. And anyway, I don't blame it on him. You know what I mean? Like he's an alcoholic, I'm an addict. Like we all make decisions and whatever. I mean, like I'm not saying my addiction's his fault. But as far as my parents are concerned, when I say my parents, I'm referring to my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad he was a great dad. We had our problems when I was younger, but that was just because I was an angry kid, really. You know what I mean? Neither my mom or my dad drink at all. I've never met drinkers, or they don't smoke cigarettes, they don't do drugs. If anything, my mom and dad are Jesus addicts. And that kind of addict isn't really a problem. Yeah.
Absolutely.
My parents, like my mom's best friend is a preacher's wife, and my dad used to be a cop. So they're, it's a perfect example of what you were saying. It's not, you have the best parents in the world and still end up on a bad path.
Absolutely.
But my bad path was, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was saying my bad path was strictly a result of me feeling like I knew everything when I was young. Like nobody could tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Which was stupid.
Drugs will do that sometimes.
Right, yeah.
It gives you all the answers, right?
Right. Well, really, it's my own cockiness before the drugs. Like when I didn't start I smoked pot when I was 14, but I didn't start doing anything else till I was 16. But when I was 8 or 9, I decided nobody could tell me what to do. Right. That was the beginning of the problem for me. Those authority issues got worse once I was on drugs, and I had that. I mean, it wasn't liquid courage, but still, it was the same thing. It was induced courage. I just could tell anybody anything and care, do whatever I wanted. And that was my downfall throughout life. Even to when I had 7 years clean, and after 7 years, all these other people around me who have sober time, when they're like, man, it's been a long time, but it doesn't mean you can't just fall back into it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I was wrong. They say in NA, I don't really go to NA, but they say that 1 is too many, 1,000 is never enough in NA. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny how the more we think in our head that we have it under control, man, the least we do. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So that's part of it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to touch base too on some of the things I heard you saying. What on those time lapses where you had those breaks, at any point when you had that, you had like if I remember, you had like a couple year span for the prison, you know what I'm saying? So you get out, on your way out, I've done a couple prison terms myself, and on your way out, at any point while you're in there, are you like, I'm done, or you don't give a shit?
Well, when I was younger, like in prison, right? Like, so I killed my last prison number in 2007. I've been to jail a lot since then, but I kind of learned my lesson in that I haven't been committing felonies the last couple of decades, And obviously now I'm on bond right now. I'm going to have some probation coming up for felony possession. I only got caught with a half gram, but I got so many possessions throughout my life that it's a felony now. Every time I get caught with anything, if I get caught with,
as it probably should be, bro. Yeah, as it probably should be. Being honest with you, with all due respect, I've been to jail, and not to sound better than anybody, but I wish, and I'm gonna say it, bro. When my friends are out of control and I can't pull them back or find them help or anything like that, I pray for jail, bro. It's ugly to say it. I'm gonna say it, but that's the truth, bro. Because you know what, I'd much rather. I'd much rather be, but I've been in those situations, you know what I'm saying? And I was never, I don't know what, and I'm not like a woe me, but I don't remember times through my addiction that I had somebody saying, my mom, but I took that for granted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I never had friends or people out there, because everybody that I knew, we were all using, you know what I mean? Selling drugs, or that was the thing. Right. So it's like, I never had somebody say, hey, come on, man, you're going to rehab. That's enough. I didn't ever even know what rehabs were, bro. So,
right.
I wish, I put a video the other night saying that kind of stuff. I wish that they would have harder crimes, because they need to slow some people down, man. It's people are
Right.
ODing left and right. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing right now for? What are you doing right now for your recovery?
Oh, really? What I've been doing, what I feel like is helping me the most right now is just reaching out to other people who are trying to find it and can't find their way, you know? Like I just, like I don't really have resources, so to speak, to do that, you know, but I know a lot of people, like I'm in Cheyenne. I've been here for 20 years, you know, and I know a lot of people here who are still in the life, you know, and I don't hang out with them on a daily basis, but I just reach out to them. And I'm like, when I'm feeling like I'm in a bad spot, I'll reach out to somebody who else I know is in a bad spot. And then just having that conversation gives me an opportunity to try to talk them into a better way of thinking in that moment. And doing that just helps my heart to realize that I'm doing the right thing and I can't go back. Because what if that one person I reached out to doesn't have anybody else to reach out to them? You know, and if I start getting high again, I'm not going to reach out to them like that. You know, so it's like kind of, I guess, to take another thing from NA, they say to keep what you have, you have to give it away. You know,
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like that's like a huge part of my sobriety is trying to help other people find it.
Right. So you don't go meetings or nothing like that?
No, I don't have a problem with meetings. I just I do have a problem with meetings. Here's my problem. It's not the meetings themselves. It's the vibe of the meetings. I don't know if it's just in Wyoming. I've never been to meetings anywhere else, but here it's like people get in those rooms and they just complain about their life. You know, there's no focus on like positive productivity or like what you could be doing. It's all about, woe is me. My life is so bad. I just can't get with that. You know, like I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to move forward. You know.
Right.
The other thing, the mindset though that helps me stay sober is I've been studying Stoic philosophy. I don't know if you know anything about that, but Stoicism is like Stoic philosophy is about maintaining composure in every situation, right? Like no matter if it's a really happy situation or a really sad situation or a really angry situation, just keep your cool. You know, you don't get too high, don't get too low. You just always have. It's about not reacting emotionally. You know. Everybody reacts emotionally, you know, especially people who are high or drunk, or you know what I mean. But that's like a lot of people. I mean, myself anyway. I'm sure a lot of people. A lot of the problems in my life have come from me reacting on my emotions, you know.
Right.
In those emotional moments, right? A lot of people get high to celebrate, and people get high to mourn, you know. But if I am maintaining my composure, whether I'm celebrating or mourning, then I don't feel the need to get high, you know. Because I just maintain my composure. I just stay my course, you know?
Right. Yeah, I like that, man. You know, and the other thing, you know, if I could give you any piece of advice, like I said before, I'm not no counselor.
Right.
I go to school for it. I just have dealt with a lot of addicts, and you know, I mean,
people who have been there have better advice than counselors.
And I've been in and out of prison, and I got a hell of a story. You know what I mean? And what's got me to this point is there's a lot of key ingredients, like I was telling you before we started the video. You know, you know, one of the big things is, man, is you got to really want it. You know,
right.
that's a huge thing.
Absolutely.
You know, after that, remember this part, man, and it's very important. You're only good as the company you keep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge part. You know, I know that feeling that you're talking about helping people. That's what I do now. That's what I'm giving it away because I've been doing this for years, whether it's here, anywhere I go, I reach a hand. It's just the type of person I am, man.
Right.
But I'm always vigilant of what I'm doing and cautious with the moves I make because you just never know. You know, even with 20 years, I could fall off tomorrow. You know what I mean? I could fall off when we hang up with this. You know what I mean? And I know one thing I can't do. I can't be around other people that are getting high. I just can't. You know what I mean? And I know that doesn't work for me. And to be honest with you, you know, in reality, it doesn't work for anybody. It just never does.
Right.
Bro. Because you heard it. You said it in your story as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing good. I'm around these people. They're getting high. And I'm just like, I could probably go a little bit and then stop on Sunday. So you said it yourself. So it's like,
right, exactly.
That's the big thing you got to watch is because, you know, you want to help somebody, but the problem is you don't understand and they don't understand. Let's phrase it like that. They don't understand that the impact that they're having on you, reaching out their hand and with their intentions of not doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take you.
So let me elaborate a little bit, I guess. When I reach out to those people, I'm not in their presence. You know what I mean? Like I'll reach out to them on Facebook or on the phone or whatever, just let them know I'm there for them. You know what I mean? but I don't let them lead the conversation, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like I keep it at like, this is what I'm trying to do. If you want to come with me, you can. If not, I'm here for you when you're ready. You know what I mean? But don't be down on yourself, right? Like there's a better way. But I understand you're absolutely right. Right? That is how I relapsed before, is just thinking, oh, I'm the cool guy. I can be around it and be cool, you know? And that's not real.
Everybody's stories like that, bro. I promise you, everybody's stories like that. Every time I've ever relapsed, my intentions were to be around people, and they're getting high, and I think I could do it, and I think I got my shit together, and I never did. And though this time around, you know, recovery, I always tell people, recovery is a lonely journey sometimes. You know, everybody looks at it different, but it's a lonely journey, man. And you know, it's you got to find other positive things to do, like you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, and I think you reached out to me about doing a podcast, right? Something like that.
I did, yeah.
So you know, those are positive things when you're staying there and and you start putting stuff together, and you know, you're smart. You're a smart man, bro. You didn't get this far in life and survived. You know what I'm saying? To just like, I don't know how to get here. You know how to get here.
Right.
You know how to do it. You know what it takes.
Absolutely.
And the biggest part is, you know what it doesn't take. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You know what gets you, what's gonna mess you up.
Right, yeah, I know where the snags are for sure. I can't say I know all of them. You know what I mean? Like I had 7 years, I thought I knew a lot, and I didn't. But I know how to feel in my own heart. Or, you know what I mean? I hear it in my own head, like that's bad for me. You know. And the thing is, I feel like you got to learn to listen to that inner voice. You know, everybody's got intuition. You know, everybody's got a gut feeling, and when your gut says, "Man, maybe I shouldn't be going that way," you can't go that way. You know.
Right.
But as far as like the other things I do to stay. To stay away from those situations and whatnot. So I start every time I go to jail, I work out when I'm in jail, you know. And then when I get out, I just kind of I didn't abandon it this time. When I got out, my boss got me a gym membership for a month, right? Nice. And it was too expensive to keep that, but it just kept me in the motion long enough that I have some routines, some apps I've downloaded on my phone, and like I work out every day, right? Like I don't have downtime to sit around and think about getting high, you know. Like I just maintain my course. Like I said, I've been studying Stoic philosophy. I was telling you before we started the recording, I just had a conversation today about going to DeVry University online to get a degree in cybersecurity. It's a growing market, and it's $100,000 a year job, and it only takes 14 months to get the certificate. So that's a good opportunity, but it's going to be a full-time school and full-time work in a couple of weeks, you know? So I'm just too busy to do too much stupid stuff. But I also know that, like, I've been at this point in my life before, and I pissed it all away, thinking I was better than other people, or not as better than other people, but better than the addiction. You know what I mean? Or bigger than my potential to slide, and that's just not real. You know, it doesn't. No. That's one thing.
I always remember this shit's bigger than both of us put together, brother.
Yeah. And you know what helps with that? God, man. God is what saved me. Like, there you go. I believe. So I got arrested September 28th, right? And that night, I was mad as hell when I got arrested, because I got arrested for a stolen truck and tools that were stolen out of that same truck. And I didn't do it. It's a long story, but I had nothing to do with it. I ran into a guy on the street. I was talking to him. He's a friend of mine. I was talking to him, and there was a doorbell camera still picture of me and him and this other guy standing there talking. And then minutes later, those two went and stole a truck. Right. So they arrested us all on it. Luckily, thank God, I ended up getting the charges dismissed on me for that. I'm bond for the drugs that were in my backpack when they caught me. Wow. And I was riding my bicycle down the street, and this cop recognized me because I've been in trouble here for 20 years, you know. She pulled over and picked me up, and I got a charge for the dope, whatever. But that night in jail, I was pissed off, right? I couldn't see that it was the dope as why I was in jail. I could just see that I was in jail for this truck that I didn't steal, you know. So I'm like, well, what the hell? Why me? Why me? You know? I went to sleep that night, and I don't remember what I dreamed about. I don't remember what happened that night, but whatever happened that night, God just came in and touched my heart. You know what I mean? Because when I woke up in the morning, I was cool, man. I was fine. I was in jail, but I was happy with it. You know, I was like, man, I needed this. You know, like I need that one night of sleep without being able to get up and grab a pipe in the morning. It just changed my life, man. Like I know that God sent that cop to save my life. You know,
there you go.
Like you can get this Bible in jail. It's called a rescued, not arrested Bible, right? And that's absolutely how I feel. You know, like I obviously I caught cuffs. I didn't get arrested. I got arrested, but God saved my life with that cop that night. You know, like that was a woman with a job, and her job was to be God's tool and change my life, because that's the day it started. You know, and then I got in jail, and I just started. You know what Our Daily Bread is? Mm-hmm. It's like it's little book you can get in jail.
So
You can get them out here
me,
too.
So this is the one I read.
Oh yeah.
So this
Cool.
is the same thing. It's a daily bread. I read it every morning. When I come in here every morning. I read that. I do some editing, and then I go to work, and then I come home. But when I'm sitting in here and I'm going through my own struggles, bro, that's what I do. I pick up that. I got a Bible over here on this side.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, the same. That Our Daily Bread, I started reading it in jail, but then I got out and I was trying to look for how I could order one online, and I found they have an app, right? So I just went to the Play Store and downloaded the Our Daily Bread app, and it's like, I don't read it every day, like it's a practice I got to get into. But when it crosses my mind, like as soon as we get off this broadcast, I'm going to check it out and see what's in there for today. But it seems like every time that thing pops in my head, I go look at it, and whatever is in that book pertains to what I'm dealing with right this moment. Yeah, it's just talking straight to my heart, man. Like when I went to jail, and the reason I started reading that Our Daily Bread is when I was sitting in jail and I opened that book, and like I said, I felt like I got rescued. Like that cop came searching for me. She saw me riding my bike and recognized me, and she followed me to McDonald's. She was searching for me, right? And then, like I said, I woke up the next day feeling like I got rescued. I opened that book. I joke you not, the first page I looked at, the title of the thing was Search and Rescue. I was like, get out of here. That's crazy. Yeah, just kind of like I kind of teared up in that moment, man. Like I was like, no way. Yeah. And it was like everything pertaining to God and that I've just happened across in my life since then has just always been so on point, man. It's like, divine intervention is a real thing in my life.
Absolutely.
There's no other explanation for the way things have happened since I got arrested. You hear people talk about times in their life when everything's just falling into place, and as an addict, and as just the way my life has gone, I've never felt that before in my life. I've always been like, that's not real, man. Like you just say that there's somebody taking care of it for you and you feel like it's just falling. No, but man, this time, since September 28th, literally it's ridiculous that everything is just falling right where I want it. Like even if I'm stressed about it for a minute and it's not happening when I want it to, I just sit back, I pray about it, and I let it go. And then the next day or what, it's just right on time. God comes through with it, man. It's insane.
That's what you got to do, man. Keep him in your life. Everything's through him. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And what the other things we're gonna be doing, man, is I'm gonna be, with God's will, of course, I'm gonna be trying to put some resources together, for situations like this, man. I mean, I know that I've looked into Wyoming a little bit, and there's some stuff out there, but I give you my word, man. I'm gonna be putting some stuff together. Wyoming, Nebraska, all these other states around here. I'm gonna try all the states. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna have a crisis line for the whole thing. But I'm gonna up our web pages. Probably be up hopefully again this Friday. I'm shooting for. Cool. And I'm just gonna keep adding to it. We're gonna put resources there, man. Detox, reach out. My number. If you have anything, man, you're struggling, anything like that, man, you can ask, man. You can reach out to me, man.
Hey, likewise, man. Hey, 20 years doesn't make you a me, man. You know what I mean? You need anything, hey, if I can help you in any way, get anything set up in Wyoming, Colorado, get at me, man. We're on the same mission.
Sounds good. I like hearing that.
I don't have a podcast right now, but I will. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And you'll know about it when I do.
I know I will. Hey, so what I want to do though, James, if it's cool with you, is here in let's just say, so you got 4 months this month, or are you coming up on 5?
I got 4 months and 8 days.
Okay.
Something like that.
So let's do this. Let's follow up with you here in a few months. What do you think about that?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll reach back out to you again. We'll do another video, man, and let the people know how things are going, where you're at, you know what I'm saying, and how's it coming, and we'll just stay in touch with you, man. We'll just make this a follow through thing, man, through your course. You know what I mean? If you're cool with it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah. Make it a recurring thing whenever we do once a month or something. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. And that way we can, people can start watching, man, and see what you're doing. And that'll also hold you accountable, bro. Being honest with you, it'll hold you accountable. And that way people that are sitting here betting on you, man, that you got this, show them that you got this, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah,
all right, brother. Well, yeah. I'm going to let you
I'm saying, likewise, I'm trying to get my stuff put together. I mentioned to you on the phone about I want to pick your brain about podcasts and whatnot. I decided today I'm just going to start doing some little, just like live broadcasts on Facebook, just to get me rolling and get me used to like controlling the conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyway, when I get a little more established, a little more comfortable, I'm going to call in a review. You cool with that?
Let's do it. I'm doing it, man. I'm
all right,
I'm game on anywhere that you want me. I'm there, bro. Yep.
Oh yeah, likewise.
For sure. All right, brother. So I'll follow up with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love your cause, man. I love what you're doing. Like,
Thank you,
cool.
James.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Right on, man. Thank you.